And then on the other side, we weren't exactly drilling shots. So like for us, that type of game where you follow the game plan and you don't make shots and you still find a way to win, unbelievable for us.
Chuba Ohams notched his 15th double-double with 17 and 12, and dealing with injuries and the extra attention paid to him, what has allowed him to be so consistent over this recent stretch?
I think he's just got better and better and better. As old and as much of an elder statesman as Chuba is, he also has not played a full season in a long while. So he's come into the year kind of learning on the fly, and not being and also on top of that, also not being in the role that he's in now. And being asked to score and rebound at the level that he's been doing. So he's learning on the fly, and he had a great start to the year. And then teams started taking him away, and he had to learn how to play when he's getting double teamed and how to play when other teams are paying him a lot of attention. And I think over the last couple of games, he's starting to slow down for him. He's starting to figure things out.
You match up with LaSalle for a second time this season tonight with lots of changes from the first meeting until now. What have you seen from them recently, and how much can you take from the meeting on December the 30th?
You know what? That was such a different part of the year for us. I mean, our team is literally completely different. I think their team is different as well. That was a long time ago. Obviously, you can pick up a little things about just what they like to do a little bit here and there, but I truly believe we're both completely different teams than we were, over a month ago when we played our last game.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And with that, we welcome you inside the Rose Hill Gym. It's Fordham and LaSalle on a Wednesday night. Hi again, everybody. Nick DeLuca, Colin, Loughran, our entire WFUV Sports crew. So happy you could join us this evening. Fordham at 12 and 13, 5 and 8 in the A-10. LaSalle at 7 and 17, 2 and 12 in Atlantic 10 play. Colin, Fordham takes the floor tonight, tied for 9th in the A-10 at 5 and 8 in conference, winners of 2 of their last 3 and 5 conference games for the first time since 2017 in year 1 under head coach Kyle Neptune. To get to win number 5, it took what coach called the most complete 40-minute effort of the season, holding George Mason to just 47 points and proving that their defense can keep them in any game.
Absolutely, and their defense has been their calling card all season long, along with some really good play forcing turnovers. That's something I'm going to be looking for all game long here against LaSalle, along with their ability to hit some shots. If they can do that, they should be able to handle this unit because, quite frankly, LaSalle is not very skilled on defense. They give up the second most points in the A-10 at that 74-point-a-game clip. Fordham should have an easier time getting some baskets to go, and if they can play defense like they're capable of, they should be able to handle the Explorers no problem here in front of the confines of Rose Hill.
Mentioned the struggles for Fordham scoring the basketball. They've been held under 70 and 9 in a row. Without Darius Quisenberry tonight for a 4th straight game, they've had to look inside, and Chuba Ohams has continued to deliver.
Absolutely, and really, to score the basket consistently, you're going to have to do that, especially for a Fordham team that is not a three-point team by nature. Look for them to move the ball inside to Chuba. That's a big reason why they were able to win the last game against George Mason. In that second half, they're moving the ball inside. Chuba ended up having 17 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks. That's the type of complete game they need from Chuba and others in this game. Someone like Antrell Charlton, Abdou Simbilla, look for them to get some cheap buckets in the paint to help them eventually get something strung together against LaSalle here.
LaSalle rounds out a 4-game road trip tonight, second to last in the A-10, losers of 4 in a row and 12 of 14 in Atlantic 10 play. A step back for head coach Ashley Howard from 6 A-10 wins in each of the last 2 years to just 2. With 4 games remaining in A-10 play, not really able to find their rhythm. Lost reigning A-10 6th Man of the Year Sharif Kenny midseason, and their defense has really suffered. Second to last in the A-10 in points allowed at 74 points a game. Clifton Moore has been their big-time scoring threat, their leading scorer. At 14 points a game, they will need a big effort from him tonight, along with Louisville transfer Josh Nickelberry and A-10 All-Rookie Team selection from a year ago, Jameer Brickus. For Fordham taking the floor, Chuba Ohams, Kyle Rose, Josh Colon Navarro, Antrell Charlton, and Abdou Simbila. The five to start it for Kyle Neptune in the home snow white tops and bottoms. The script maroon Fordham across the chest on top of block maroon numbers. The maroon stripes on the sides of the shoulders and the shorts for LaSalle. The road nautical navy blues. The gold LaSalle blocked across the chest with the block gold numbers below. The trim in gold and white on the side. The tip one into the backcourt for the Explorers, and we are underway tonight. This is a LaSalle offense. Middle of the pack in the Atlantic 10. Eighth in scoring at 69 points a game. Right arc three. Brickus off to jump. Front rim and no. Battle for the top of the key. Rebound won by LaSalle. Their third best in the Atlantic 10 in offensive rebounding. An extra opportunity right out of the gate. Clifton Moore, 12-point per game score to lead Explorers up top. Left arc three from Clark. In and out. And a left block rebound. Antrell Charlton.
Those are the type of shots that Fordham can live with from outside the arc. Quite frankly, you don't want a team like LaSalle to get into the paint any further, especially with Clifton Moore being so prevalent.
Float underneath, restricted area. Ohams, the two-hand flush. Chuba Ohams puts Fordham on top 2-0 a minute in. The 15th double-double last time out on the season. 17 and 12, catch and shoot, straight on three. It's Ray knocking it down. Christian Ray, the junior from Gap, Pennsylvania, puts the Explorers in front 3-2. A minute and 10 in first half. Straight away, Josh Colon Navarro piercing the floater on the runner straight away. Too strong off back heel, and the long rebound batted to Kyle Rose left arc. Had the go-ahead three-pointer against George Mason on Sunday with 52 seconds to play with 9 points. Float near block, Ohams, shoulder shake back to the basket. The defense from Josh Nickelberry. Stop A-10 stamp, far corner three, Charlton. Front rim and off, and Clark the weak side rebound.
Like the pass there from Ohams, but personally I would have liked to have seen him take it to the hoop. Be aggressive. He's been the guy all season. No reason why he shouldn't continue that trend today.
Straight away, Brickus, LaSalle's leader in assists and three-point shooting. Left of the lane, Moore, shut off by Simbila. Ray off the catch and shoot, right arc three, right rim and off, and the right block rebound for Chuba Ohams. LaSalle 3, Fordham 2, just over 2 minutes in first half. Fordham looking for a third win in their last 4 games in a series sweep against LaSalle for the first time since 2016. Ram portion of the logo, Ohams with 10 to shoot, roaming left. The handoff, Charlton, stop at the left elbow. Simbila, the bounce, back to the basket with 4 right arcs. Straight on 3, Colon Navarro. Front rim, it grazes, and a right block rebound, LaSalle. The long pass into the front court. Clark tiptoeing the baseline, lost possession. And the long pass out toward the midline, intercepted by Antrell Charlton, who's on the Ram portion of the logo, settling things down for Fordham. LaSalle by 1, 3-2. 3 minutes in first half. Right block floats Simbila. Drawing the defense from Ray. The stutter step left it off front rim. And the rebound in the restricted area yanked down by Moore. A foul called with Simbila swiping for the basketball. He picks up his first and Fordham's first of the opening half.
Simbila couldn't get it to go there, but quite honestly, I'll have him take that shot all day long. He's the type of guy, big wingspan, big, strong player. He can make that shot 8 to 9 times out of 10. If you're Fordham, work the ball inside. It's what worked for you against George Mason. It can work again today against the Explorers.
Simbila has been getting it going offensively, multiple field goals in 5 of his last 6. Samad Harrison is checked in to this one for Fordham. Brickus the stop in favor of Josh Colon Navarro. Ray the handoff, straight away Moore. The shoulder shake, Nickelberry curling around with 9 on the shot clock. Brickus stop at the A-10 stamp, the dump underneath, left block, knocked away. Ohams has the loose ball.
Fordham looking good defensively so far, doing what they do best in some respects, creating turnover opportunities to get baskets on the other end of the court for themselves.
Near corner 3, Rose rattles in. Kyle Rose off the dish from Chuba Ohams puts Fordham in front 5-3, 4 minutes in. Rose, who's been in double figures in 3 of 4, had 9 last time out, has his first bucket tonight. Moore right of the lane, backing down on the defense from Simbila, drawing the right block double team. Catch in the shot fake. Nickelberry ripped away right elbow, and a foul called on Kyle Rose. Just a little too aggressive, trying to pry away possession from Josh Nickelberry, the Louisville transfer. Second on LaSalle in scoring at 12 points a game. Has struggled recently, and that foul sends us to our first timeout. Chuba Ohams has been incredibly important to this recent string of success for Fordham. 7th in the entire NCAA in double-doubles. Had 17 and 12 last time out, leading Fordham to a win over George Mason. Tom Aiello caught up with him ahead of this one against LaSalle.
Chuba, last game, 17 and 12, 15th double-double on the season. What did it take for you in that game just to will the team to victory?
I just wanted to win, you know what I mean? So I'm at a point, you know, I'm coming down to my last games of my college career, so I'm just going to come on and play hard every game.
Now, of course, you're one of the most vocal players on this Fordham team, and when Coach Neptune first arrived, you and I talked about how he prioritized you as a person, but from your perspective, how do you think your leadership skills have developed both on and off the floor?
Definitely. I mean, just my time here at Fordham, I've been more vocal. I was always a vocal guy, you know what I mean? Not afraid to say what I want to say. But definitely, my leadership has increased so much. The guys listen to me. I mean, I've been here for a while. You know what I mean. I know how hard the A10 is and stuff like that. So,
guys, Chuba Oham's leadership, as he said, has been so important to this team. It's been almost irreplaceable. Coach Neptune talks about him being one of the most important forwards to this team, and now forming a mighty duo with fellow tree Abdu Simbila down under the boards. Just a duo you don't want to reckon with when you're grabbing rebounds. And another stat to note, you talk about hustle. Chuba Ohams is 2 blocks away from getting 8th all-time on the all-time blocks list here at Fordham, and he's going to probably pass Ed Bona, who played here in 1983. Guys, Chuba Ohams chasing Fordham royalty tonight.
Tom, appreciate it. Approaching 4 minutes in to the first half. Fordham 5, LaSalle 3. Fordham has started 2 of 6 from the field. LaSalle 1 of 4, scoreless in the last 3 minutes with just the one Christian Ray three-pointer made. And Fordham, whose defense carried them to the victory over the weekend, has picked up right where they left off on that end of the floor.
Absolutely, and defense, as we were talking to Coach Neptune earlier, really that's the focus of this unit, and it's how they create offensive chances as well. Good defense leads to good offense in transition.
Josh Nickelberry headed to the free throw line. The foul called on Kyle Rose in the act of shooting. Nickelberry hits the first. Second on LaSalle in scoring. 8 points a game over his last 3 on just 36% from the field. Team leader in made threes is off on the second after hitting the first. Shooting just 30% from long range in his last 4, so trying to pick things up with LaSalle searching for an end to a 4-game losing streak. Fordham 5, LaSalle 4. 4.5 minutes in first half. Kyle Rose, the between-the-legs dribble, guarded by Christian Ray. Over the head dump with 10 to shoot. Ohams up top, left of the lane stride. Leaves it off left rim. It rolls off. LaSalle, the long rebound. Nickelberry into the front court. The shuffle lays it in with the right. Josh Nickelberry aggressive to the basket, and LaSalle regains the lead 6-5, 5 minutes in first half.
That's something that this LaSalle team can do to hurt you. They are a very quick-paced unit. They will take those transition opportunities any chance they get.
Straightaway Charlton, right arc pass. Ahmad Harrison to jab step, shut off by Brickus, stopped at the free throw line. Rose curling around up top, in and out of his hands, has possession with 7 to shoot. Kyle Rose attacking, steps back, looking for an outlet, will shoot right elbow, back heel and off, in the center of the paint rebound, Jack Clark. Fordham has started just 2 of 8 from the field. Near side Nickelberry, guarded by Kelly, his near corner 3, right rim off, and Ohams jumps for the right block rebound. Fordham trailing by 1 into the front court. Approaching 6 minutes in first half. Ohams, the jump stop, restricted area. Had it poked away, no call. Brickus speeds into the front court. Left arc, drawing the double team. Behind the back dribble. Going up is Jack Clark. Left it short. And Ohams, the underneath the basket rebound, he's got 3 already.
Great defense by Chuba Ohams. Fordham will be wise to slow the game down a bit here. Do what they do best. Let the game come to them. Don't play at LaSalle's pace.
This is a LaSalle team that is 5th in the A-10 in tempo, 248th in offensive efficiency. Fordham playing at a much slower pace. Extra pass, near corner 3. Kelly knocks it down. Pat Kelly, 5 points per game over his last 5, had 6 against George Mason, and puts Fordham back in front 8-6, just over 6 minutes into the first half.
Love that shot from Kelly. He's a guy that's going to keep developing that three-point game. Something to look out for as this Fordham team continues to grow and develop. Before practice, he's always out there trying to drain as many threes as possible. At his height, with his lanky sort of build, that could be very useful for this team going forward.
Far side, the basketball poked away out through the sideline. Last touch by LaSalle. It's Fordham possession. The Explorers have 3 early turnovers. Fordham has been so good at forcing opponents into mistakes. 15 turnovers or more forced in each of the last 3 games. Charlton attacking the hole, leaves it in off the glass. Antrell Charlton with his first bucket today extends the Fordham lead 10-6. Nearing 7 minutes into the first half, and Charlton showing that burst, a guy that Fordham needs with the offense struggling over the last 5+ games.
Absolutely. You're going to need Charlton if you want to pull out a win here. Last time out against LaSalle, Darius Quisenberry had 19 points against them, was crucial to that win. Without him tonight, guys like Charlton, Colin Navarro will have to step up in lieu of Quisenberry being out.
Jack Clark and Christian Ray have checked out for LaSalle. Khalil Brantley and Anwar Gill have come in for the Explorers, trailing by 4, 7 minutes in first half. Gill, block up portion of the logo, shielded by Nowitzki. Catch and shoot. Nickelberry, the 3, back heel and off. Left block rebound, Josh Colon Navarro. Charlton into the front court, wheeling right side, tripped up with his feet tangled with the freshman Khalil Brantley, a 7-point per game scorer off the bench, who will pick up his first foul and LaSalle's first of the first half. 7 minutes into the opening half, Fordham on a 5-0 run to take a 10-6 lead early against the LaSalle team that has really struggled defensively. Second to last in points allowed in the A-10. Opponents have shot 45% or better in 7 straight games. Kelly rolls off the left block 3. And LaSalle, the near side rebound. Brantley into the front court. Moore straight on triple. Front rim and off. Left block rebound, Charlton. LaSalle has allowed at least 7 threes in 6 of their last 7 as well. Fordham looking to take advantage. Bounce center of the paint. Nowitzki, extra pass, Colon Navarro up top. Kelly over the head pass for Colon Navarro with 12 on the shot clock. Defense from Brantley around the left side screen. Nowitzki high off the glass right of the lane. Colon Navarro off right rim, and the foul called along the baseline. After the miss, it will go on Fordham. The loose ball to the right side.
Love the choice by Colon Navarro to take it to the hoop. Really, he's been a guy that's been a spark plug for Fordham. 11 points per game over his last 6. I like his chances to draw contact against bigger guys like Clifton Moore, get to the line, create something for his team.
Rastik Nowitzki picks up his first. 8 minutes in first half. Fordham 10, LaSalle 6. Left of the lane drive, up and under. It's Moore spinning to the goal. Leaves it in off the glass. And Clifton Moore into the scoring column for the first time tonight. LaSalle's leading scorer. Leads them in field goal percentage. A top 20 mark in the A-10 at 14 points a game. Colon Navarro up top. Stop A-10 stamp. Righty Rainbow falls in. Josh Colon Navarro with his first points tonight. Fordham in front by 4, 12-8. Approaching 9 minutes in first half.
Smart shot selection by Colon Navarro. That easy floater, money for a guy like him.
Bounce left arc for Jameer Brickus. Brantley right arc, getting the screen left from Moore. Working on Nowitzki, it's a mismatch. Top of the key, right of the lane drive. The step, too strong, left at left rim. Nowitzki, the shovel of the left block rebound. Transition 3 Rose. Too strong, right block rebound Gill. Rose with room from the left arc, couldn't knock it down. Left block Brickus, the left of the lane drive, kick out, near corner 3. Nickelberry in and out. Run for the baseline board. Nowitzki able to dive on the floor for it, shovels it off, and a foul on the loose ball called on LaSalle will send us to another timeout.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Fordham isn't the only A-10 matchup tonight, with UMass trailing Dayton 9-10 with 14 to go in the first half. Top-ranked in the A-10 Davidson Wildcats are leading Duquesne 18-17. That's got 11 left in the first half as well. Outside of the A-10, there are plenty of good games going around across NCAA college hoops. Michigan plays their first game without head coach Juwan Howard at home versus a red-hot Rutgers team. The Wolverines are up 16-12 with 12 to go against the Scarlet Knights in Ann Arbor. Number 7 Duke is on the road taking on University of Virginia. The Cavaliers are up 13-11, halfway left in the first half in Charlottesville. Just because the Knicks aren't in action doesn't mean they're staying out of the news, as Kemba Walker and the Knicks mutually announced that he is quote-unquote shutting it down for the remainder of the 2022 season. Seems to be the case that Walker may be on the Knicks roster come next season. No Tri-State hockey tonight either, as all 3 New York area teams are off. Devil, Rangers, and Islanders are back in action tomorrow night. The one-on-one scoreboard update, I'm Keenan Troy.
Thanks, Keenan. Fordham 12, LaSalle 8, 10:52 on the first half clock. Fordham has started 5 of 14 from the field. LaSalle just 3 of 12 and 1 of 8 from downtown. We talked about it, Fordham needing the defense to come through if they want to find ways to win down the stretch and in to March play, and so far so good. Fordham has really made things difficult for LaSalle offensively.
That's been the recipe for Fordham. Play some good defense, and it makes up for the subpar shooting in some situations. That's the case tonight. Right now, Fordham only shooting at that 35.7 clip, LaSalle at that 25% clip. Neither of them really shooting the lights out by any stretch of the imagination, but quite honestly, this is a LaSalle team that's 1-9 on the road this year. If you're Fordham, take some smart shots, continue to play hard on defense. Good things will happen.
Mention the road struggles. LaSalle has yet to win outside of Philadelphia this season. They are 1-10 away from home with their lone road win at St. Joe's. Their team's field goal percentage drops 4% in road games this season, while the defense has struggled with opponents shooting 5% better in games away from Tom Gola Arena. Head coach Ashley Howard said it's not something that they pay a ton of attention to. Not going to make a big deal about it, trying to remain optimistic. As the float on the left goal inbound, taken by Moore with LaSalle into the front court. With Rastik Nowitzki picking up the foul into the timeout. Straight away, it's Brantley, the center of the paint slice, rolling it in with the right from 5.
Khalil Brantley, Bronx native, just cut right through the paint there for LaSalle. You can't have that happen if you're Fordham on defense.
Fordham 12, LaSalle 5, 10.5 minutes into the first half. Right arc Colon Navarro, screen left from Simbilla. Straight away on the yo-yo possession, left arc Charlton. Oham's on the left baseline, back to the basket with 8 to shoot. Oham's looking for an outlet, roaming around. Straight away, Colon Navarro with 4 with 3. Around the screen, right arc 3. Off back heel, Simbilla soars for the underneath the basket offensive rebound. Baseline drive swatted away. Loose ball to the near corner, thrown in on the far side by Clark with a basketball batted around through the far sideline in front of the LaSalle bench. Last touched by the Explorers. Fordham will keep it with 12 on the shot clock.
Don't know how I feel about Oham's trying to find the outlet there with Colon Navarro. I mean, he's shooting over 50% from the field this season. Quite frankly, I'd like to see him just take it up to the hoop.
Fordham scoreless in the last minute and 42 seconds. 65 or fewer points in 7 of 8 games over their last 6. Have struggled from the field, and in particular from long range, where they've shot just 26%. They've opened it up 2 of 7 from behind the arc tonight. 5 to shoot, straight away Colon Navarro. Near side outlet pass on the bump by Gill. Pass through the near sideline. Anwar Gill picks up his first foul. The sophomore from Washington, D.C., an early season starter, moved into a bench role, averaging 5 and 3 on the season.
And he's the type of guy that's going to play tough defense. He leads the team in steals, so expect him to be aggressive for LaSalle.
Heels on the three-point arc. Chuba Ohems backing to the right elbow. Left arc, Zach Riley. Ball fake, stop, A-10 stamp. The righty readjustment left short. Simbila with 3 to shoot his. Sky hook too strong. Charlton off the feed from Riley. His float for Ohems rolled in, right block.
Good vision from Charlton. Such a multifaceted player for Fordham. Leads the team in assists and steals for a reason. Good job finding Ohems there.
Fordham getting it done on the offensive glass with 5 early offensive rebounds to take a 4-point lead, 14-10, 9-10 remaining first half. Left arc, a foul away from the basketball, will be charged to Fordham. It's their third, and Antrell Charlton's first, a guy who's struggled with foul trouble over the last couple. Clifton Moore will check out with Mamadou Ducare coming in. Fordham by 4, 9-10 remaining first half. Far sideline inbound for Josh Nickelberry to the back to the basket. Brantley straight away. Clark, the float for Brantley, guarded by Riley with a screen left. Set up by Ray, doesn't use it. With 9 to shoot, LaSalle trailing by 4. Nickelberry, block F portion of the logo. Left arc, Christian Ray. The bounce straight away, step back, left arc 3. Clark, front rim and off. And Kyle Rose, the A-10 stamp, center of the paint board. Colon Navarro pushes into the front court. The bounce for Ohems. The left of the lane drive working on Ray. Righty flip up, goes down.
Great
off
finish.
The glass, Chuba Ohems. Up to 6 points in the first half, and Fordham leads by 6, 16-10, 8.5 minutes to go first half.
Great finish by Ohems. That's what he does for this team. Creates opportunities for himself and others around him.
Left arc Nickelberry, the handoff for Khalil Brantley, guarded by Colon Navarro. Left of the lane surge, walling off. The fall away from 5. Left strong off the glass. The weak side rebound, Clark with a whistle and a foul called along the baseline. It will go to Fordham, the second of the first half on Abdou Simbila, their 5th. With 8:11 remaining first half, Rastik Nowitzki will come jogging in from the Fordham bench as Simbila will take a seat. LaSalle scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes, trailing by 6. Fordham 16-10. Ducare near side off the left of the goal inbound. Brantley left arc. Ray near side backing down Nowitzki. Through the center of the paint, left arc 3. Back heel and off from Christian Ray. Fordham, the center of the paint rebound with Chuba Ohems, his 4th. LaSalle scoreless in the last 3 minutes. Shooting it at 25%. Bounce near side for Chuba Ohems, working on Ducare. The spin, baseline drive with the left. Ohems pours it in. It's a 6-0 Fordham run. Ohems with 8 points and 4 rebounds, and Fordham an 8-point lead. 7.5 minutes to go first half.
We talked about it. Taking good shots and taking smart shots was going to be critical for Fordham to win this game. Ohems doing just that.
Far side pull up. Off right rim and out from Khalil Brantley. Ohems a 5th first half rebound. Josh Colon Navarro walking and across the midline stripe with Fordham on top by 8. LaSalle shooting at 42% from the year. They're at 23 in this first half. Ohems backing down left baseline with 10 to shoot. Ducare the defense. Righty sky hook rolls out. Brantley the right block. LaSalle board. Ray into the front court. The handoff. Clark looking for the roll. Pulls up. Brantley possession straight away. LaSalle trailing by 8 with possession. Ray right arc. Defense from Ohems. The float near side Clark. The pull up from the near side right rim and off. It's Nowitzki who takes the fluttering weak side rebound.
And good defense by Colon Navarro right there, taking on a bigger guy in Jack Clark at that 6'8 mark. Still contests the shot, helping his team out.
Fordham by 8, straight away, Kyle Rose. Screen left from Ohems, left of the lane drive, working on Nickelberry. Bowling him over, and Rose making the contact with the foul called. Offensive personal going to Kyle Rose as Fordham turns it over with 6:15 remaining in the first half. No. Nickelberry wearing number 10, and they'll call the foul on LaSalle. 20-10 Fordham, 6:15 remaining first half. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi there, my friends. It's Dylan Balsamo, the voice of Fordham women's basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for Rams hoops all season long, with every game available through the FUV Sports Spreaker feed. You can access our Spreaker page through WFUVsports.org or the link in our Twitter and Instagram bios. Join myself, Andrew Galata and company on site for the call of the game, plus Thomas Aiello, Chris Persianen, and our entire WFUV Sports crew for the one-on-one pregame, halftime, and post-game reports. Coverage starts 10 minutes before tip-off of every game, so be sure to tune in. Follow the action of Fordham women's basketball all season long on WFUV Sports.
The Kyle Rose bucket ruled good, plus a foul on Josh Nickelberry, both wearing number 10. So the officials making sure that everything was sorted out. Fordham 20, LaSalle 10 in the midst of an 8-0 run over the last 4 minutes and 22 seconds, with the Rams defense taking hold. More from Thomas Aiello down on the sidelines.
Well, I did a little bit of an investigation operation on the coaching staff's bench. They were screaming, "Find Pat, find Kyle." Patrick Kelly and Kyle Rose, two of their best three-point shooters. Kyle Neptune giving them the green light here against LaSalle. And Kelly so far 1 of 2 from 3. Kyle Rose has hit a 3, as well as Coach Henry Lowe yelling, "Take a cut." Fordham wants more off-ball movement cutting towards the basket when they have their bigs in the post between Chuba Ohams and Abdu Simbila, trying to get some easy scores through a LaSalle defense that is second worst in the conference. They let up the second most points per game. The details matter in this game, and quick substitution rotations for Kyle Neptune is what's going to keep his guys fresh and running away with this one, hopefully all the way to halftime.
Fordham 20, LaSalle 10, 6:15 remaining first half. A good start for Fordham, looking for a third win in their last 4. A win tonight would move them to 500 on the season at 13-13. Fordham has not been 500 after February the 20th in 6 years.
Wow, that is a little bit surprising there, but you got to think Fordham would love to keep stratifying in the right direction.
Kyle Rose through the contact on the left of the lane drive, plus the foul on Nickelberry, heads to the free throw line to try and extend the Fordham run. On top by 10, and his free throw bubbles in. Rose puts Fordham in front by 11. 21-10, 6:15 remaining first half. He will jog off to the Fordham bench on the far side, with Antrell Charlton checking back in. Nowitzki, Ohams, Charlton, Colon, Navarro, and Riley, the 5 on the floor for Fordham. Rams playing the soft backcourt pressure, more near side, drawing the right block double team. Kick out right arc, Nickelberry. Moore has it back right baseline with 12 to shoot. Backing down, Gill, the right arc 3. Right rim and off, and Ohams rips away the right block rebound.
Nowitzki holding up really well against Clifton Moore on that last defensive series for Fordham. Good footwork on his part. They're going to need him to do that, especially with Abdu Simbila with some early fouls.
Fordham defense 56th in the nation in defensive efficiency. That's the best mark since 1995 for this program. It's Riley left arc bowling over the perimeter defense of Nickelberry and drawing the offensive foul. And it's a Fordham turnover and the Rams' 6th foul of the opening half. On top by 11, 21-10, 5.5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Between the legs dribble in the backcourt for Jameer Brickus, who's been inconsistent recently. A guy LaSalle's looking to get going. 3 games with 18 plus and 3 with 7 or fewer in his last 6. Right of the lane, stopped by Gill. The right arc kick out Nickelberry. The pump fake, possession poked away out to the near sideline by Antrell Charlton. LaSalle keeps possession with 10 on the shot clock, trailing by 11. A 9-0 Fordham run. LaSalle has not scored in 5 minutes and 24 seconds. Averaging 69 points a game, near side three, Gill, right rim and off. It's the over-the-head, weak side rebound, Charlton. The woes on offense continue for LaSalle as Fordham clamps down on the Explorers' attack.
Impressive showing of defense from the Rams. We've been saying it all night long. That is what this team's strength is. Not surprising. Maybe a little surprising it's been this long since the LaSalle bucket, but not surprising they're putting up a great effort tonight.
The Explorers 4 of 20 in the first half. Colon Navarro running center of the paint, left it off left rim, and the near side rebound for Gill. Pushing into the front court. Straightaway Brickus between the legs dribble. Stop at the A-10 stamp. The kick out toward Kyle Neptune and out past the Fordham bench. It's a LaSalle turnover, their 4th of the first half. In fairness, Kyle Neptune was wide open along the Fordham sideline.
Might have been able to hit a shot before LaSalle at this point.
LaSalle scoreless in 6 minutes and 8 seconds. This on the heels of Fordham holding George Mason scoreless in the final 4 minutes and 50 seconds to get a win last time out. Straight on three, in and out from Colon Navarro. Offensive board Nowitzki, left arc three, Colon Navarro. This time is all net. Ashley Howard strolling onto the court, asking for a timeout. Josh Colon Navarro nails the triple, 5 first-half points, and Fordham has its largest lead of this opening half, 24-10 with 4:09 remaining. Fordham has the game's last 12 points. LaSalle approaching 7 minutes scoreless. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey folks, this is Thomas Aiello
with Ryan Gregoire,
and we're your main hosts for WFUV Sports' new college basketball podcast, Storm the Court.
We'll talk about the top 25 rankings, some of the big games from the week before, and preview the slates ahead.
We also talk Fordham basketball, both men's and women's, so don't be afraid to listen to that as well.
Tyler Hu and Danny Scott also join the show as recurring hosts.
So make sure to tune in to Storm the Court, a production of WFUV Sports. This is the road to March.
Fordham has the game's last 12 points and 19 of the last 23 over 11 minutes in this first half. LaSalle has not scored in 6.5 minutes as the Rams continue to get it done on the defensive end of the floor. Kyle Neptune said that last time out against George Mason, it was their most complete defensive performance of the season, but so far tonight, they're giving that a run for its money.
Absolutely, and Nick, call me old school, but I love a team that can control the glass like Fordham has tonight. 21 boards so far, out-rebounding LaSalle by 9. Offensively, they're out-rebounding them as well. 6 offensive rebounds as opposed to LaSalle's 2 offensive rebounds. And on that last possession, it was a Nowitzki board that was able to free up Colon Navarro for the 3. That's the type of aggression you love to see if you're Coach Neptune.
Fordham continuing to get it done on the glass. 9th in the A-10 in rebounding margin, are 9 and 6 when winning the rebounding battle. They are winning it 21-12. And it has led to a 14-point first half lead, with LaSalle having no answers on the offensive side of the floor. Brickus across the midline with the soft backcourt pressure. Block F portion of the logo. Left arc for Clark. The float near side for Clifton Moore. LaSalle's leading scorer backing down Ohams. Left it off back heel and gets the friendly roll. The first bucket in almost 7 minutes for LaSalle cuts the Fordham lead to 12, 24-12.
And if it was going to be anyone, it was going to be Clifton Moore. He's the leading scorer on that team. He's about the only guy that can do that consistently in the paint.
Right arc 3, Charlton, front rim and off. LaSalle pushing into the front court after the rebound. The right baseline drive, Clark, extra pass, Nickelberry, making contact with the hip on the blow-by of Nowitzki. And Rastic picks up the second personal foul of the first half. It's Fordham's 7th. sending LaSalle to the free throw line in the single bonus. Josh Nickelberry had 10 and 5 on Saturday against UMass, was held to a conference play low, just 3 points in the first meeting with Fordham. The Louisville transfer's first is all net. Fordham 24, LaSalle 13. The Explorers shooting just 5 of 21 in the opening half. Second from Nickelberry, all net. Fordham's lead trimmed to 10, 24-14. Antrell Charlton, the right of the goal, backcourt inbound. Josh Colon Navarro, double team, float into the front court. Chest high pass received by Kelly, and Colon Navarro has it 3 feet in front of the midline. Tight defense from Brickus, screen right from Kelly. Colon Navarro, left baseline drive, stop at the block, over the head pass Kelly, left arc Charlton. With 10 to shoot, back to the basket, stopping near side long two, rolls off from Colon Navarro, and Ray has the right block rebound for LaSalle. Near side Clark looking to push, Nickelberry left to the lane drive, fumbled the basketball out through the baseline. LaSalle turns it over. Fordham speeding up this LaSalle offense, looking to push to avoid Fordham's half-court defense, which has been so good in this first half. The Explorers shooting 24%, 1 of 12 from 3. And Fordham on top by 10, 24-14.
LaSalle definitely trying to speed things up in transition. That's their bread and butter. Get those easy baskets on the fast break. Now they're applying more pressure on Fordham as well defensively.
Left baseline drives. Twirling around Oham's, front rim rolls off, and a travel called anyway. With the basketball back to LaSalle, trailing by 10. Fordham now scoreless in the last 2 minutes. Chuba Ohams has a Fordham high 8 points to go with 6 rebounds in the first half. 2.5 minutes remaining. Fordham on top by 10, 24-14. Jameer Brickus, straightaway Ray. Between the legs dribble for Moore. LaSalle's leading scorer has got just 4 points in the opening half. Straight on Brickus for 3. Back heel and off, and the left block rebound for Chuba Ohams. His 6th of the first half. Antrell Charlton with Fordham in front by 10 in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Left to the lane drive. Screen left from Ohams. Left arc 3, Colon Navarro is good. The catch and shoot, Josh Colon Navarro, who had 17 in the first meeting between these two teams, has a second 3 of the first half, and Fordham in front by 13.
And good on Charlton with the assist there, creating an opportunity for his teammates. One of those guys that might go under the radar passing-wise, coming up big there.
Head of the key jumper off. Fordham the rebound. LaSalle scoreless in now 2 minutes. The Rams in front by 13 in the final 90 seconds first half. Oham screen left. Charlton the rip away possession. Left arc 3 rows. Front rim and off. It's Clark, the head of the key rebound. Jack Clark left to the lane drive. The redshirt junior rolls it in with the left.
Jack Clark, 6'8", big guy, especially for a guard, plowing right through the lane there.
On a tear recently, has 17 plus in 6 of his last 7, 18 points per game in his last 3. The Fordham lead is 2-11. Clark with his first bucket of the evening. Charlton straight away with 10 to shoot. Oham's head of the key. Stops outside the restricted area. Righty sky hook too strong. LaSalle the weak side rebound with Clark. 11-point lead for Fordham on top of LaSalle. The left baseline drive by Ray. A foul called with Kelly shuffling over to defend the basket. And Christian Ray, LaSalle's leading rebounder, a guy who's been more involved offensively for the Explorers over the last couple, will head to the free throw line shooting 1 and 1 with the Explorers trailing by 11 in the final 41 seconds. Ray, the junior from Gap, Pennsylvania, bends the knees, flips up his first, front rim and off, and Ohams brings together a left block, 9th rebound of the first half. Antero Charlton strolling across the midline. Ram portion of the logo and will motion for a timeout. Only 32 seconds remaining in the opening half, and Fordham wanting to talk it over to set up this offensive possession on top by 11, 27-16 to open this first half. Be sure to stay tuned for the one-on-one halftime report. Danny Scott, Keenan Troy taking you through all the highlights of this outstanding opening half for Fordham defensively, leading them to an 11-point advantage. And Fordham finding that edge defensively, but also getting things going on the offensive end. Chuba Ohams and Josh Colon-Navarro have provided a spark.
Absolutely, and if you're Fordham, the way that these guys have been providing a spark is what you need. Taking smart shots. Colon-Navarro taking some threes, but smart threes. Not threes that are contested, not threes that might be a little questionable off of a pick. Ones that are created by good passing opportunities. I saw last possession with Charlton finding Colon-Navarro there. Ohams maybe having some trouble taking it up against someone like a Clifton Moore, but you like your chances because he's been so good. You give him that freedom to take the ball to the hoop.
Fordham shooting at 36% in the opening half, looking to find the bucket and what might be their final offensive possession. 7 to shoot. Charlton left arc. Straightaway Nowitzki. His free throw line jumper. Back heel and off. Right block rebound for Jameer Brickus. Shot clock turned off. Final 10 seconds first half. Gill, right arc. The right of the lane drive. Kick out. Far corner 3. Ray left rim and off. Left block rebound. Chuba Ohams hoisting it up. Didn't get it off anyway. Ohams with a 10th rebound of the opening half to go with 8 points and send us to the break. Fordham, a 27-16 lead on the strength of some outstanding first half defense. LaSalle with just 6 field goals in the opening half. 24%. Josh Nickelberry, their scoring leader, with 5. Clifton Moore, LaSalle's leading scorer, averaging 14 points a game, held to just 4 in the first 20 minutes. Chuba Ohams getting it done. 8 points, 10 rebounds. Josh Colon-Navarro with 8 the first half as well. Kyle Rose chipping in with 6. Back to our Rose Hill studios for the one-on-one halftime report.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome into the one-on-one halftime report. I am your host, Danny Scott. Fordham leads LaSalle in this one by a score of 27-16. Fordham came into this one 12-13 and are trying to get back to 500, winning 2 out of their last 3, and have a decent lead in this one at the half. LaSalle 7-17 overall, 13th in the A10, and only winning 1 out of their last 10. However, before we get into the first half breakdown, let's send it to Keenan Troy with a one-on-one scoreboard.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Fordham at the half, it's important to turn our eyes to other A10 hoops. Also at the half, Davidson is in a tooth and nail fight in Pittsburgh. They're up on Duquesne 36-33. Under 10 minutes left in the matchup between the GMU Patriots and the VCU Rams. VCU, with a 6-point lead in that one. Under 3 minutes left in a Big East duel between Providence and Xavier. The Friars are up 28-24. And lastly, in Coach K's last trip to Charlottesville, the number 7th ranked Duke Blue Devils are up 30-25 at the half. Just because the Knicks aren't in action doesn't mean they're staying out of the news. Kemba Walker and the Knicks mutually agreed that he is shutting it down for the remainder of the 2022 season. There's no hockey tonight either, as all New York area teams are off, but the Devils, the Rangers, and the Islanders are all back in action tomorrow night. With the one-on-one scoreboard update, I'm Keenan Troy.
Thank you, Keenan. You know, the Rams took the lead in this one around the 14-minute mark, and they haven't looked back since, going on a monster 12-0 run to go up by 12 and lead this one by 11 at the half. For me, it was really the Rams' defensive pressure. They're out-rebounding them by a lot. Is there anything else in this first half, Keenan, that you see that you really like from the Rams right now?
Well, I think, you look at that run that Fordham goes on, Danny, and first you have to acknowledge the elephant in the room is that LaSalle couldn't buy a bucket for about 6 minutes there, and that opened the game up for Fordham to, take time in their offensive sets and, get looks that were, not forced, but were really quality, either from the three-point line or we saw Chuba Ohams beasting down low. But, yeah, if you look at that defensive effort from Fordham, not allowing a whole lot of rebounds on the offensive side for LaSalle. The Explorers only have 2 thus far into the game. But even more so, Fordham on the defensive side has 19, which really is emphatic that, LaSalle couldn't buy a bucket, but they were pretty much going one and done when Fordham went on that big run, which allowed Fordham to dictate not only momentum, but really keep their foot on the gas and, take it to this Explorers team that has been struggling throughout the first half in this one.
Yeah, going back to what you just said, it was about 7 minutes without a bucket, and I hadn't really thought of that until you just brought that up, that, LaSalle in this one is shooting 6 for 25. They've only got 6 buckets to go in, and then every single time, just about every single time, they're not getting that opportunity to go and put a ball back in the hoop. And, Chuba Ohams, a guy that is number 5 right now in the nation in rebounds per game at 11.3 rebounds per game, already has 10 in 20 minutes. He has more rebounds in this one than points at the half. He's very much on pace to grab another double-double this year. It would be his 16th. What from him are you really seeing out there? What is he doing that's impressing you the most?
Well, with Chuba, the way he's been playing this season, especially with Quisenberry going out, he's become the centerpiece that he's always been for this Rams offense, if you think about his tenure here at Fordham. But what's been different this year is that he's looked to get the supporting cast more involved. And, yeah, he doesn't have any assists on the day, but it's so much more than just his scoring and his, boards and whatever accolades he does in the paint. Oftentimes we'll see the ball go into Chuba's hands, and then Chuba's going to spit it right back out for a reset up top, which will lead to, a Colin Navarro open look, or, we saw Patrick Kelly hit a 3 coming out of balls from in low. So, you got to commend Chuba. He hounds the boards like no one else. He's already up to 8 points. He's been so dominant today in the post, but I really like his ability to create, when the ball's not in his hand, because he knows when he's got the ball, sometimes a double's coming. So he's quick. He moves the ball quick to, free up his teammates for open shots, and which allows Fordham to go on the run that they did.
I would like to see what Oham's pass to assist numbers are, because he's a guy that finds people that are open, and then they kick it to the extra guy. And another guy that's playing well for the Rams, he's struggling a little bit with his shooting percentage, but still tied for the leading scorer this one, is Josh Colon Navarro with 8 points, shooting 30% right now, 2 for 6 from the three-point land. However, with Darius Quisenberry out, Josh Colon Navarro has stepped up big time for the Rams these past few games until we get Quisenberry back, and he is playing well. Another guy that you mentioned, and I'll kick this one to you so you can talk about him, but Antrell Charlton has been struggling with fouls a lot this season, only has 1 at the half, so that's a big improvement, but 6 assists for Charlton.
Yeah, and I think you saw it on that alley-oop turned layup to Ohams, while Fordham was going on that run. It's Charlton has a mediocre to okay contest for a 3, but he sees Chuba's got a mismatch down low, and rather than, putting it on himself, he recognizes that his teammate can get a far easier bucket if he gives him the rock, and he provides such a great feed. And, you do mention that Antrell this season has had trouble with fouling. He's in a good spot for the rest of the way, and, he's got 2 points, but he's got 6 assists and 3 boards. I wouldn't be surprised if, I'm not going to say triple-double watch, but maybe an unconventional double-double for Antrell this second half, because we know he's got that quick first step to the bucket. And, the way this Rams offense is clicking, I wouldn't be surprised if he got a double-double just in terms of assists and points.
I mean, knowing how Antrell Charlton plays, he is on pace. I would say I think he's probably averaging close to double-digit points per game, especially since Quisenberry has been out. And 6 assists is a lot higher than his typical game. But, it's a thing. It's almost like a Draymond Green-esque game. The triple nickel, as I like to call it, where you go 5, 5, and 5. And he is well on pace for that. Another guy that I want to talk about, Pat Kelly comes in off the bench, knocks down a 3. But the bench production for the Rams hasn't really been there. It's been a lot of their starting lineup. Kyle Rose has 6 points as well, shooting 2 for 5. But let's move over to LaSalle. And, Nickelberry in this one, 1 for 6, 5 points. He has got to the line a few times. He's 3 for 4 from the line, but there has not been a lot of free throws in this game.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was Fordham staying out of foul trouble. They were pushing towards the 1-on-1 single bonus, which ultimately LaSalle gets into towards the end of the half. But so long as Fordham stays out of foul trouble, I haven't seen anything from this Explorers side that, is attacking the basket outside of transition. Maybe it's because Kyle Neptune has gone with a double big look for so long, especially with Quisenberry being out. But LaSalle hasn't attacked the rack, which has affected their field goal percentage because they're taking, long mid-range twos or they're putting up threes. And, when the offensive boards aren't getting there, it's difficult to get back to the line to shoot 2 free throws. And, for Fordham, if you're looking at this, you just have to be defensively solid because we talked about the woes LaSalle has had this entire game. But this is a team that if they get hot, keep in mind it's only 11 points here at the half, Danny. You can't allow this LaSalle team to get hot. So if you're Coach Neptune, you got to say, look, we did everything right on the defensive side. We made them shoot from the perimeter. We didn't let them run in transition too much. We can't get in foul trouble because this team has the capacity to outrun and outgun a lot of teams in the A-10.
Absolutely. And LaSalle averages 69.2 points per game on the season, only 16 in that first half. Fordham averaging 66.9 points per game. However, I keep coming back to this idea of how impressive their defensive pressure was, allowing a team to only get 16 points in one half to a team that averages 69, just about 70 points. They're averaging less than half, or they're on pace for less than half of what they would normally average in a game. What do you think is the biggest key for LaSalle in this one to get back into it? Where do they need to turn? If you're an Explorers fan, what are you looking at for LaSalle to do in the second half?
Well, I think if you're just reading the first half statistics, Danny, anything that has the word percentage next to it is not something that, you are impressed by. If you look at 3-point percentage, 1 for 14, you hope that a 3-pointer is going to fall eventually and, can get a few ticks up from that 7.1%. But if I am the Explorers and, I'm sitting in that locker room right now, I know that this Fordham defensive unit is stout, but there has been a couple glimpses into, a little uncertainty in this Fordham offense. You think about a couple of times deflected balls. Fordham luckily gets saved by a call going their way. If I'm LaSalle, I'm fighting for every loose ball, especially on the defensive side, Danny, and then I'm looking to run and gun and just crawl my way back into this game just on the transition.
Would you go at Fordham's big lineup and maybe run a little bit of small ball and push the pace a little bit more? Fordham is a team that this year has kind of been a little bit more methodical in their offense. We've seen the shot clock in this game go down to the last second a few times. What do the Rams need to do in this second half to keep their lead strong, keep rebounding? Do they keep running with the 2 big lineup in the second half?
Well, I think you got to stay big if you're Coach Neptune here. We talked about it before the game, Danny. I feel like in terms of Fordham's depth, the place in which they have the most depth is their bigs. And yeah, right now Patrick Kelly's the only guy on the bench who has scored for Fordham, but it's not to say, Nowitzki hasn't been present because he has been with 4 boards. So I really think that if I'm Coach Neptune, I'm staying big because we've seen LaSalle's inability to crash the boards, especially on the offensive end. And, that methodical approach that they've had to their offense pretty much without Darius Quisenberry, you just got to maintain that for 20 minutes of solid basketball. Bend, don't break on the defensive end. It's perfect if you don't show any signs of bending at all, but just stay with that methodical approach. Antrell Charlton's going to dish a couple dimes, and, Chuba Oham's proving time and time again that he is old reliable in that low block for Fordham.
And we will be paying very close attention to Chuba Ohams going into the second half. The Rams lead this one 27-16, but we will send it back to the Rose Hill Gym with Nick DeLuca and Colin Loughran.
Thanks, guys. Fordham 27, LaSalle 16, just about set for the second half of play from a half-filled Rose Hill Gym. The maroon seats surrounding the wood-finished court, the Block F maroon. And Ram at midcourt here at the Rose Hill Gym, and Fordham building that 11-point lead at the break on the strength of some excellent defense. LaSalle held to just 16 first-half points on 24% from the field. Fordham shooting it at 34% and knocking in 4 threes to stretch the advantage. Colin, Fordham has been so good through this recent stretch defensively, and to see them get some shots go in, they're putting themselves in great position into the second half.
It's a beautiful thing when you play good defense and get shots. Good things are going to happen when all that comes together into a really nice, cohesive game of basketball. For Fordham, too, getting out there and getting that first punch against LaSalle was so important. LaSalle, a team that is 1-12 when they're trailing at halftime. You got to think Coach Neptune loves to get that quick start. Also, in terms of shot selection, Fordham has 8 points off of turnovers, 12 points in the paint. Those are the type of numbers that bode well for a team that hasn't shot too well from outside the arc this season and hasn't shot well, period. When you're getting points in transition, when you're getting points in the paint, that translates to me, you're getting cheap buckets. That's how you win games, taking advantages of opportunities when they present themselves.
And at the center of it all, both on the offensive and defensive ends of the floor, Chuba Ohams with 8 and 10, getting it done to lead Fordham as he has through this recent stretch. We'll check in with the third member of our crew, the sidelines, with Tom Aiello.
What's going on, guys? So I caught up with Coach Trey Woodall here going into the second half, and I asked him what's going to be the big key for half number 2. He said we have to continue to get on the defensive end with some tenacity and rebound those balls. Fordham has 25 total rebounds right now to LaSalle's 17. So the big key tonight, defense and rebounding, the theme that has defined this Fordham team pretty much all season long, guys.
It has been their team DNA and has been on display this evening to the tune of just 16 points allowed in the opening 20 minutes. Ohams and Colin Navarro combining for 16 to pace the Fordham offense, looking for a third win in their last 4 games and to improve to 500 on the season in late February for the first time in 6 years. They also have not swept LaSalle since that 2016 season. That also on the line tonight.
Gotta love Fordham's chances to pull out the win today, especially considering LaSalle is rocking those navies. They're 0-8 when they wear those uniforms this season.
It has been bad luck in navy blue for the LaSalle Explorers on the season, who take the floor with Brickus, Nickelberry, Ray. Their leading scorer, Clifton Moore, and Jack Clark, as Fordham rolls with Antrell Charlton, Oham, Simbilla, Colon Navarro, and Kyle Rose out of the halftime intermission. Left arc, Colon Navarro with Fordham starting with the basketball first, on top by 11. Simbilla, the right arc roam. Handoff for Kyle Rose, over the head fake. Bounce for Simbilla, near side, 8 to shoot. Right baseline drive, draws the double team, swatted away right of the rim. And the loose ball falls to Christian Ray, near side.
That's a matchup I'll be watching in this second half. Christian Ray, a sneaky scorer, a good defender, leads that team in rebounds for LaSalle.
Float back to the basket, right arc Ray, extra pass. Clark straight on 3, swirls in. Jack Clark, the redshirt junior, one of 3 LaSalle players averaging double figures, mentioned that he had been so hot coming into this game, and now to 5 points with LaSalle trimming the Fordham lead to 8. First minute in to the second half. Left arc, Kyle Rose, waist-high possession. Curling Charlton left arc. Back to the basket, Ohams, left of the lane drive. Restricted area double team, flips it up with the right and is fouled with the contact from Clifton Moore. Ohams leaving it off the front of the rim. And Moore picking up his first, and LaSalle's first of the second half. Chuba Ohams on his way to the free throw line with an opportunity to make it a 16th double-double on the season.
Chuba Ohams, such a great player. Something I'd like to see him develop further is that ability to hit shots at the line, though. 57.5% on the year.
His first off front rim. Abdus Simbila will check out as Pat Kelly comes back in. Fordham scoreless dating back to the end of the first half for 3 minutes. Ohams is second. The bend of the knees is good. Ohams to 9 points, 10 rebounds. Fordham a 9-point lead, 28-19. Minute 15 in second half. Ram portion of the logo, Brickus. Roams left arc, straight on Clark, over the head pass. Moore right block. Shut off by Ohams. Sky hook with the right, off back heel, and the right block rebound for Chuba Ohams. Far sideline stroll, Kyle Rose. Left arc with the defense from Nickelberry. Bounce for Ohams. Jump stop. Restricted area blocked away on the interior by Clifton Moore. Loose ball for Josh Nickelberry and LaSalle. 2 minutes in first half. The Explorers trailing by 9. Brickus right arc. The over the head pass. Ray the bounce. Possession poked away. Moore on the right baseline. Ohams shovels to Charlton into the front court for Fordham. LaSalle shooting 26% tonight. They've turned it over 6 times. Right arc, Pat Kelly, over the head possession. The bounce for Charlton, right of the lane drive. Triple team closes in, extra pass, far corner 3 Rose. In and out, Ray, the right block rebound batted by Kelly out through the baseline. LaSalle possession with 17:36 remaining. And Fordham on top by 9, 28-19.
Obviously no good on the shot there for Fordham, but you gotta love the extra pass. That's been something this team has struggled with throughout the course of the season, really getting those assist numbers up. So really, you might have missed the shot, love the extra pass.
Steal, Colon Navarro attacks right side, lays it in high off the glass. Josh Colon Navarro, the turnover into 2. And Fordham extends the lead to 11, 30-19, approaching 3 minutes into the second half. Brickus right of the lane drive, slices up and under with the spin off the glass. Jameer Brickus gets it to fall, his first points of the night. And LaSalle trails by 9, 30-21, 3 minutes in second half. Left arc, Colon Navarro, the hesitation dribble, walled off, screen left Ohams. A-10 lob, the left block attempt by Ohams, looking for the thunderous slam, in and out of his hands, and a foul called to the left of the basket. Ohams soaring up, was looking for the two-handed flush with authority, and the foul going to Clifton Moore in the restricted area, picking up his second, LaSalle's second of the latter half, and Ohams back to the free throw line. His first, all net. Another double-double for Chuba Ohams, 10 points and 11 rebounds. Fordham's lead is 10.
And really nice job by Colon Navarro to have the vision to find Ohams on that alley-oop chance. Without that pass, Ohams isn't at the line right now.
His second, all net, and Chuba Ohams to 11 and 11 as he jogs off to the Fordham bench. Fordham in front by 11. 3 minutes in second half, with Rastik Nowitzki checking in for Fordham. Ram portion of the logo, Ray for Brickus, who's got just 2 points tonight. Screen left, Moore. Double team closes in, left elbow. Clark straight on 3, in and out. Right block rebound for Kyle Rose and Fordham.
Really good contest by Nowitzki there, getting back up to the top of the key to really make that shot difficult for Clark.
Fordham winning the battle on the boards, out-rebounding LaSalle by 7. Charlton left arc, the hesitation dribble, stops at the hash marks, fall away from 7, goes down. Antrell Charlton up to 4 points in this one, and Fordham stretches the lead to 13, 4 minutes in second half. Straightaway Clark, right arc Moore. Wingspan defense from Nowitzki, the bounce, Nickelberry back to the basket, guarded by Colon Navarro. Right block, stepped on the baseline. But a Fordham foul called first. Josh Colon Navarro ruled for the contact. And exactly 4 minutes into the second half, Fordham with a 13-point lead into another timeout. Fordham 34, LaSalle 21. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Colin Loughran.
And I'm Tyler Mooney.
And we're your two main hosts for WFUV Sports NHL podcast 5 on 3.
Here on 5 on 3, we will talk everything Rangers, Islanders, and Devils.
We'll have all the news from around the NHL and keep you updated on the chase for the Stanley Cup.
Alongside Colin and I, Chris Hennessy, Samantha Bohr, and Thomas Quigley help us out as hosts.
You can find 5 on 3 wherever you get your podcasts. Home ice for all things NHL, 5 on 3.
Four minutes in to the second half. Fordham 34, LaSalle 21. Let's check in with Thomas Aiello.
What's going on, you guys? So I was listening in to the sideline. They're trying to run everything Fordham is, their offense, through Chuba Ohams, once again posting up and kicking out two open shooters. And I heard Coach Ergo getting on Abdou Simbila about his low post offense. He was emphasizing the use of the pump fake and kick it out to the shooter, which is something not only have the coach to stress to get open looks from three, but to get Abdou Simbila some more impact on the offensive glass. It's going to be very fascinating to watch how they incorporate the two bigs into this guard-heavy play that they've got going here so far tonight.
Simbila with a couple of rebounds has not scored tonight. In foul trouble as well with a couple early, playing just 8 minutes on the evening. And Fordham on top by 13, 34-21. 4 minutes in to the second half has continued that defensive intensity, forcing a couple of turnovers in the first 4 minutes and continuing to hold down this LaSalle attack. And then on the offensive side, they have made it an emphasis out of the break to get Chuba Ohams continually involved, and he has produced some results.
Absolutely, but to that point on defense, you really don't want someone like Abdou Simbila in foul trouble, because that creates some mismatches for LaSalle that they could potentially take advantage of. I'm looking at a guy right now in Christian Ray, hasn't really gotten it going too much today, only the 3 points. But if Simbila fouls out, or if Ohams gets into some foul trouble because of over-aggression on defense, that could spell trouble for Fordham.
LaSalle with the basketball out of the timeout. Left to the goal inbound for Christian Ray with 20 on the shot clock. Nowitzki, the wingspan defense. Bounce for more right arc. Working on the guard by Kelly. The right baseline drive. Kick out for Brickus to the LaSalle bench. No one home. And the Explorers turn it over for a third time in the first 4+ minutes of the second half. Fordham 34, LaSalle 21, a 13-point lead. Straight on Charlton. Crisscross dribble, handoff for Rose. Screen right, Nowitzki, center of the paint stop. Waist high bounce pass for Charlton. Crossover with 10 to shoot. Restricted area double team. The dump for Nowitzki. Fumbled it left block, and LaSalle has the loose ball.
You got to hold on to the pumpkin there. Catch the basketball.
Right arc, Ray the shot fake, Kelly the defense, hesitation, stop A10 stamp, the spin, flips it up, left short off the glass, but a foul called as Christian Ray attacks the bucket, and will head to the free throw line for a pair from the stripe. Pat Kelly picks up the Fordham foul, his second and Fordham's second of the second half. Ray bends the knees, his first front rim, rattles around and falls.
Ray, not the best three-point shooter or free throw shooter on this team by any stretch. From downtown, he's only got 23.7%. At that free throw line, only about 52%. But he's a guy you don't want to get going if you're Fordham.
Ray's second, bangs in. An 11-point Fordham lead. Rams 34, Explorers 23. Approaching 5 minutes into the second half. Chuba Ohams up top. The handoff to a curling Kyle Rose. Right elbow, Nowitzki, one bounce, left arc shovel for Josh Colon Navarro. Ray the defense, stop at the A10 stamp. Left block, bounce for Nowitzki, backing down, draws the double team on the baseline. Possession poked away through the baseline, but a foul called on Christian Ray. His first. And LaSalle's third of the second half. The shot clock back to 20. Fordham retains possession. Right at the goal, Ohams. Left baseline working on Moore. Jump stop, righty hook. Front rim and off. Left block rebound, Brickus. Running in transition, elbow flip. Left arc, Ray. Left of the lane drive, over the head pass. Right arc, Brickus, the shot fake. Near corner three, Ray. Is good. Christian Ray off the feed from Brickus. LaSalle pushing the pace and getting the three to fall. They've trimmed the Fordham lead to 8, 34-26. 5.5 minutes in, second half.
Ray with some really good off-ball movement for LaSalle. Really just quicker than Nowitzki. He's got to keep up with Ray if he wants to keep him at bay.
Left arc, Charlton back to the basket. Left block, double team Ohams. The flip across the lane. Nowitzki, the shoulder high catch, and a foul away from the basketball. Josh Nickelberry will pick up his second and LaSalle's fourth of the second half. Fordham scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds, shooting just 2 of 6 from the field. Charlton, Nowitzki, Ohams, Rose. And Josh Colon Navarro, the 5 on the floor. Ohams, the float off the inbound. Couldn't twist around the defense from Moore. Blocked away. And the weak side rebound for LaSalle. Brickus, Ray on the far side 3. Catch and shoot. In and out from Clark. And the underneath the basket rebound for Ohams, who is ruled to have stepped on the baseline. And LaSalle, an extra possession, trailing by 8, 6 minutes in, second half.
Game seeming to get a little bit too quick for Fordham's liking here. If you're Coach Neptune, I'd tell his guys, keep this game slow. Play at your own pace. When you have that half-court defense, no one's beaten Fordham in this conference. They're good at defense for a reason. Keep it slow. Keep LaSalle at bay.
Kyle Rose has checked out with Zach Riley returning to the game. Brantley on the bounce, left block, it's Clifton Moore. The mid-range jumper, left rim and off from the near side. And Charlton runs down the rebound. Clifton Moore, the leading scorer for LaSalle, 14-point-a-game scorer, as just 4 tonight. Left arc 3, Nowitzki back heeling off. And Brantley trampolines for the right block rebound. Ray, the long pass into the front court, over the shoulder catch, backing down Riley. Left baseline drive, the spin, stop, bangs it in off the glass. Christian Ray extending the LaSalle run to 7-0 over the last 3 minutes. And Fordham on top by just 6, 34-28, approaching the 7-minute in mark of the second half. Stop left elbow, Charlton. Riley wheeling around, baseline drive, restricted area. Shoulder high pass, Ohams. Riley, the ball fake with 7 to shoot. Dump left block, Nowitzki drawing the double team. Knocked away, muscles through, banks it in off the glass.
Really strong finish by Nowitzki. That's what you like to see. Take it aggressively back up.
Fordham back in the scoring column and extends the lead to 8, 36-28, 12:40 and ticking second half. Brickus right elbow stop, though. Extra pass, left block, Moore, the two-handed flush. Brickus, the vision, LaSalle's leader in assists, and Moore with the flare at the rim. Fordham on top by 6 with the basketball. 12:20 to go second half. Left arc, Colon Navarro, defense from Brickus. Badgering the right arc feed for Charlton. Head of the key, bounce, far side, Colon Navarro, the 3. Misses everything. Ray, the weak side loose ball. Fordham has scored just 9 points in the second half on 3 of 10 from the field. Leading it by 6. LaSalle with a chance to trim it to a 1-possession game. Near side Ray. Left baseline backing down Riley with 8 to shoot. Flips it up. And it rolls off. The foul called on the floor anyway. LaSalle motioning for a goaltend with Antrell Charlton reaching through the hoop to flip the basketball back out. Assuming that the foul was on the floor, he was correct. And with 11:46 remaining in the second half, LaSalle making a second half run, 9-2 over the last 4.5 minutes. Back to our Rose Hill studios, a one-on-one scoreboard with Keenan Troy.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
In other A10 basketball, Davidson starting to pull away from Duquesne in Pittsburgh. The Wildcats up 50-39 in that one. Dayton is also pulling away from UMass in Amherst, 53-28, the Flyers lead. George Mason making a contest with VCU. The Rams lead cut to 5 by the Patriots. In other NCAA news, just getting started in the second half, Michigan is up by 2 on Rutgers. Big game for Michigan in their first matchup without Juwan Howard, who is suspended for the remainder of the regular season following that scuffle with Wisconsin. Number 11, Providence, is trailing by 3 to unranked Xavier. Second half is just starting in that Big East tilt. The MLB announced today that if the CBA deal is not done by Monday, the league will expect an abbreviated 2022 season. And although no New York area hockey is on tonight, the league's best, Colorado Avalanche, lead the Dallas Stars 1-0 through the first period. Hockey returns for all New York area fans with the Rangers, Devils, and Islanders in action tomorrow night. With the one-on-one scoreboard update, I'm Keenan Troy.
Thanks, Keenan. Nick DeLuca, Colin, Loughran, Thomas Aiello on the sidelines. Our entire WFUV Sports crew. So happy you could spend some of your Wednesday night here with us at the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham 36, LaSalle 30 at the 11:46 mark of the second half. LaSalle closing the gap on a 9-2 run, and Fordham really struggling to find anything on the offensive side.
Yeah, not a pretty start for Fordham offensively. 3 of 10 from the field, 30% overall. And really, LaSalle's gotten going. They've hit 2 threes so far. Christian Ray has become much more active. That was the guy we were talking about. Don't let him get involved. But he's finding ways to get mismatches and really make his size play to his own advantage against guys like Nowitzki. Also, using his speed to his advantage. For a big guy, he's pretty quick and helping LaSalle get back into this one.
Ray, the junior from Gap, Pennsylvania, to a team-high 10 points on 3 of 5 from the field. With 7 of those points coming in this second half. Float straight away for Brickus. LaSalle a chance to cut this to a 1-possession game. Left arc over the head, Ray. Cross-court pass for Brantley, right arc. Brickus straight away with 8 to shoot. Fordham in zone. Between the legs dribble, head of the key stop. Ray, left arc 3. Bangs it in. Over the defense of Nowitzki with the shot clock winding down. It's Ray to a LaSalle high 13 points, and this is a 3-point game. Fordham 36, LaSalle 33, 9 minutes in, second half. Free throw line stop, Ohams. Near side feed for Rose. Got it knocked away. More possession for LaSalle. Brantley across the stripe. Right elbow pull-up jumper is good. Khalil Brantley in transition. It's a 9-0 LaSalle run. They've got 14 of the game's last 16 points, and Fordham scoreless in 2 minutes, looking for an answer. Right arc, Kyle Rose. Fordham 36, LaSalle 35, approaching the midway mark, second half. Ohams at the free throw line. Ray the defense, bowling him over, and a block called. Ohams surging to the left. Ray plummeting to the floor with the heels on the A-10 stamp. The wood finish, center of the key. As Ray picks up his second, and LaSalle the team's 4th of the second half. Fordham will use a timeout with 10:34 remaining in the second half. The Rams looking to fend off this second half LaSalle run. On top by 1, 36-35. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Keenan Troy here.
With Nick Guzman.
And we're responsible for keeping everyone in the loop with the world of soccer, breaking it down weekly on FUVFC.
From the international stage to the domestic leagues, myself and Keenan focus on key storylines, the week's biggest matchups, and everything that the beautiful game has to offer.
Matty B. Monte, Michael Hernandez, and James Burley also lend a hand as we keep our finger on the pulse of the United States men's national team, as well as the build-up to the 2022 Qatar World Cup. You don't want to miss it.
FUVFC is a production of WFUV Sports.
Fordham scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. LaSalle has trimmed the Rams' lead to just one, 36-35, with 10:34 remaining. This is a LaSalle team that has really struggled when playing from behind. 1-12 when trailing at halftime, and 0-13 when losing with 5 minutes remaining. But tonight they have showed the fight, gone on the run, and Fordham has got to get it back in gear if they are looking to make it a third win in their last 4 games.
You said it, Nick. We've heard about a tale of two cities. This has been a tale of two halves for LaSalle this far. In that second half, they're leading Fordham 19-9 in terms of points. They're drastically outshooting them in the second half this far. LaSalle shooting 63% in the second half, and really that's thanks to guys like Christian Reagan involved. That's thanks to other more role players getting involved, like Khalil Brantley finding an open man, hitting a mid-range shot earlier. This is exactly what you didn't want to happen if you're Fordham. You need to hit the reset button here during this timeout. Make LaSalle play at your slower speed and don't bow down to their more quick transition style of ball.
LaSalle 7 of 11 from the field in the second half. Fordham just 3 of 10. And Kyle Neptune and his squad looking for some answers outside of this timeout after seeing what was as large as a 14-point lead in the first half, cut to just 1 here in the second. Right of the goal inbound, Josh Colon Navarro left arc on the handoff from Charlton. Oham's the screen right. Colon Navarro doesn't use it, pedaling around, stopped at the left elbow. Charlton right arc, ball fake, free throw line jumper in and out. Ray, the center of the paint, rebound. Float ahead, Brickus left to right into the front court, flips it up, back heel and off, and Charlton the restricted area rebound. Brickus, a golden opportunity to give LaSalle its first lead since the first 5 minutes. Charlton left of the lane drive all the way to the basket, lays it in with the right.
Smart take by Charlton. Saw he had the angle, went ahead and took it. Good play for Fordham.
Fordham back in front by 3, 38-35, 9:45 and ticking second half. Bentley, the near side 3, front rim and off. It's Moore the follow, with the foul called on the shoulder contact by Ohams. Moore leaving it off the front of the rim, and now headed to the free throw line after Chuba Ohams picks up his first and Fordham's fourth of the second half. Clifton Moore bangs the first off the front of the rim. LaSalle outscoring Fordham by 8 in the second half. And Moore trying to cut the 3-point Fordham lead to 2. He does. LaSalle's leading scorer up to 7 points on the night. Fordham 38, LaSalle 36, 9.5 minutes remaining second half. Over the head pass, Kyle Rose, block F portion, the logo. Waist-tight possession, Josh Colon Navarro. Screen right from Kelly. Wheels around it, right arc Charlton. The bounce, right baseline drive. Rose, the adjustment, banks it in with the right. Kyle Rose aggressive to the basket. Fordham in front by 4, 40-36. 11 minutes in to the second half. Right baseline, back down Clark. The flip up, goes down, plus the foul. Charlton making the contact, and the officials conversing about whether the foul should have been called on the floor or in the act of shooting. Josh Colon Navarro picks up his second, and they will wipe the basket off the board. So the foul called on the floor as Chuba Ohams will head to the Fordham bench. Straight on three, Brickus, right rim and off. The weak side rebound on the block for Kyle Rose. The flip to Charlton, strolling it into the front court.
Rose getting involved on defense there. That's something you'd love to see right now from Neptune, getting him more involved as you start to fail out.
Center of the paint slice, knocked away by Moore. The attempt by Charlton, right to the lane drive with Brickus attacking the goal, swatted away underneath through the baseline. A foul called. Josh Colon Navarro quickly picks up his third as Fordham is tagged with its sixth foul of the second half. Jameer Brickus will go to the stripe with a chance to cut the Fordham lead to 2. Brickus with just 2 points tonight. Guy who has been up and down as he bricks the first. Shot a season best 70% from the field with 18 points in Saturday's loss to UMass. Held to just 4 in the first meeting with Fordham. His second is all net, and it's a one-possession game. Fordham 40, LaSalle 37, 8:40 and ticking second half. Backcourt float for Charlton. Colon Navarro on the flip across the midline. Block F portion of the logo. Fordham 5 of 14 in this second half from the field. Straightaway Colon Navarro between the legs dribble with 10 on the shot clock. Fordham late getting something set up. Right arc Colon Navarro, screen left Kelly, the dump off. Right arc Kelly back to Colon Navarro. Straight on three Charlton. In and out, and the left block rebound for Jack Clark. Fordham unorganized on that offensive possession.
And Charlton had a wide open Rose in the baseline if he just would have looked to his left.
Left arc Clark, possession batted away on the bounce. Clark gets it back, left baseline drive, swatted away by Simbila out through the baseline. LaSalle keeps it with 14 to shoot on the other side of this timeout. 7:56 remaining second half. Fordham and LaSalle back and forth. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Chris Hennessy here, reminding you to tune in to our New York Islanders coverage all season long. Follow along for every game as Tyler Mooney and I take you through the historic first season at Belmont Park. On Twitter at WFUV Sports, on the WFUV Sports YouTube page, and wherever you get your podcasts every week on 5 on 3. The New York Islanders here on WFUV Sports.
Fordham 40, LaSalle 37, 7:56 remaining in the second half. Fordham trying to hold off this Explorers comeback. Have led by as many as 14 tonight, and now in front by just one possession. Third member of our crew, Thomas Aiello. What do you got for us on the sidelines?
Well, last time out, not this one, the one before it, I was listening in, and Coach Neptune's message was pretty simple. Pull it together. Fordham had gone scoreless for 2 minutes and 19 seconds before waking up around the 9-minute mark here in the second half. It's imperative that this Fordham team closes this game out, and they've had some issues with that, as we know, earlier on in the season. But this time, Coach Neptune feels more confident with his group, and he's going to try and rally the troops, put this game to bed.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Fordham hoping to close out a third win in their last 4 games. And a first series sweep in their sights of LaSalle since 2016 as they hope to get to 500 on the season. And it has been perhaps a little bit more difficult than they may have anticipated into this second half, but seemingly having steadied things just a bit, now about going out and putting their best foot forward in the final 8 minutes.
Exactly, and if you're Fordham, now is the time to finish the job. LaSalle playing a little bit of bully ball here in the second half. 8 points in the paint. Can't let that happen if you're the Rams.
Right of the goal inbound on the baseline float for Moore. Left arc, Brickus, ram portion of the logo. Screen right from Moore with 5 to shoot. Brickus guarded by Simbila. The spin, stop center of the paint, kick out, straight on to 3 was too late. Jack Clark hoisting after the shot clock had expired, and Fordham, good defense under the timeout. 7:42 remaining second half. Fordham 40, LaSalle 37. Abdou Simbila will check out for the Rams. Pat Kelly comes back in. Ohams, Rose, Charlton, and Colon Navarro, the 5 on the floor for Fordham.
Brantley picking up Colon Navarro around half court. Interesting move by LaSalle to apply that pressure.
Charlton left of the lane drive, draws the block, double team, baseline bounce. Tipped by nobody out through the baseline. Fordham turnover. Ohams motioning to say Moore got a fingertip on it. That not called. And the Rams turn it over for an 8th time tonight.
Definitely not what you need if you're Kyle Neptune right now. Make smart decisions with the basketball. Don't let this game get away from you.
Fordham scoreless in the last 2 minutes, on top by 3, 40-37, 7:15 to go in this one. Ram portion of the logo, Ray. Waist-high possession, driving right side. Corner pass ripped away by Charlton. Clark couldn't get a handle on it, and Fordham's leader in steals has another one.
Antrell Charlton does so much for this Rams team. Another example right there with a nice steal.
Fordham 40, LaSalle 37. Left arm shot fake, Colon Navarro with the Rams in front by 3. His pass to Charlton, picked off by Clark into the front court. Brickus the shovel, right lane drive, off right rim, and rolls out. Colon Navarro, the restricted area rebound. Fordham able to get back in the transition defense and prevent an easy bucket. Left arc, Ohams. Fordham scoreless and approaching 3 minutes in this second half. Curling around. Between the legs dribble Charlton. Left block double team Ohams. Righty sky hook. Left short Simbila the loose ball with 4 and 3. Banks it in off the glass underneath. Simbila the reverse layup. And Fordham extends the lead to 5, 42-37. Abdou has his first points of the night.
Love to see that. That's an aspect of Simbila's game that Coach Neptune would love to see get further developed.
6 minutes remaining. Brickus left arc, backing down Moore, and a travel. Simbila walling him off. Moore losing his balance. LaSalle turns it over. And Fordham with the basketball on top by 5, 42-37 in the final 5:50 of this one. Josh Nickelberry will check back in for LaSalle. Playing with a couple fouls and 5 points. Jameer Brickus will sub out. Pat Kelly back into the game for Abdou Simbila as Charlton walks it into the front court. Left arc 3, Colon Navarro, all nets. From 25, Josh Colon Navarro in front of the Fordham bench in rhythm. The Rams, a 5-0 run to extend the lead back to 8, and Ashley Howard wants a timeout. 5:30 remaining. Fordham stretching the lead once again. 45-37. And Josh Colon Navarro with a big-time shot from long distance.
Absolutely. Colon Navarro showing some real confidence there. Not his best shooting day overall. 5 of 13 so far from the field. But really, as one of the leaders of this team, when you're starting to maybe give a little too much to LaSalle, really good choice by him to say, you know what, I'm going to have confidence in this situation. Don't let the moment get too big and come up with a big shot.
And for a LaSalle team that has had so much trouble defending the three-point shot, have allowed 7 or more threes in 6 of their last 7 games. Colon Navarro delivering from downtown to put Fordham back in front by 8. Rams 45, LaSalle 37. A 5-0 Fordham run. LaSalle scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Brantley straight away. Right arc for Jack Clark. And it's Brantley a foot in front of the midline. Dribbles to the left elbow. Possession poked away. And a foul called on Fordham. it will go to Josh Colon-Navarro, who picks up his 4th and will jog to the Fordham bench. Zach Riley will check in for Fordham, and it's the 7th team foul for Fordham in the second half, sending Khalil Brantley to the free throw line, shooting 1-1.
Khalil Brantley, definitely one of those guys that can create opportunities and send himself to the line really quick, great handles.
Brantley's first is pure. Breaks a 3-minute and 30-second LaSalle scoreless drought in the second half. Fordham by 7, 45-38. Brantley's second is a swish. Fordham with the basketball on top by 6, 45-39. Approaching the 5-minute mark of this second half. LaSalle 0-13 this season when trailing with 5 minutes remaining. Straightaway Kyle Rose, between the legs dribble, badgered by Brantley, lost possession, tipped out of bounds near sideline, and LaSalle forces the Fordham turnover.
Khalil Brantley really locked up there on Rose. Not the greatest handles in the world. Brantley was able to set his feet, stay with him, and really create havoc.
A 7-point per game scorer off the bench. The freshman Brantley has made an impact in over 20 minutes tonight. Clark left arc 3. It's good over Simbilla. Jack Clark in rhythm, nails the 3, has 8 points tonight, and LaSalle all of a sudden trails by 3. Antrell Charlton looking for an answer. Left arc Ohams, the handoff Charlton. Head of the key, stop near corner kick out Rose, the 3. Front rim and off. Simbilla soars for the offensive board. Lefty hook goes down. Simbilla working the offensive glass. The sky hook with the left. Abdu with 2 field goals tonight for 4 points. Fordham in front by 5. Ohams the tip of the basketball on the float pass. And a foul called away from the basketball. Fordham will pick up. Check it, LaSalle will pick up the foul. It's Fordham basketball.
Just thinking about that last Fordham bucket for Abdul Simbilla. Really nice shot over a bigger guy in Clifton Moore. Love to see the toughness.
Jack Clark will be whistled for his first. Fordham in front by 5 with possession, 47-42, the final 4 minutes of this one. Ohams straight away. Right arc Rose stops at the free throw line. Straight on Colon-Navarro, shot fake, righty runner, off right rim. Ohams, the baseline followed, two-handed flush. Brantley dribbling out of control, turned it over. Near side lost possession. The float by Colon-Navarro. Ohams the flush. LaSalle the turnover. And heading into the under 4 timeout. Fordham a 7-point lead and the basketball. Rams 49, LaSalle 42. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports. Back to our Rose Hill studios. A one-on-one scoreboard with Keenan Troy.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
As Fordham tries to close this one out, we turn our eyes to the rest of the A-10 as George Mason University is battling with VCU. Patriots lead the Rams 48-42 with over 10 minutes left in that one. Outside of that, it's a blowouts aplenty in the A-10. Davidson up by 20 over Duquesne, and Dayton dominating UMass 73-48. Both those games are in the second half of the second half. Number 7 Duke leads Virginia in Coach K's last trip to Charlottesville, 52-49. That game's got under 7 to go. Number 3 Auburn faces Ole Miss tonight in Alabama. That one is just getting going. Also in the SEC, number 6 Kentucky takes on a very strong LSU Tigers team at 9 o'clock Eastern. In the Big East, Xavier leads number 11 Providence in Providence with just over 10 minutes to go, 50-48. The Knicks can't stay out of the news, and it's all for the wrong reasons. Kemba Walker and the team mutually agree that he is going to shut it down for the remainder of the 2022 season. No hockey in the New York City area, but the Devils, Rangers, and Isles are all back in action tomorrow night. With the one-on-one scoreboard update, I'm Keenan Troy.
Thanks, Keenan. Nick DeLuca, Colin, Loughran, our entire WFUV Sports crew. Fordham 49, LaSalle 42, 3:43 remaining. If you're just joining us, Fordham led by as many as 14 in the first half. LaSalle closing the gap with a 4-point advantage in the final frame tonight. Rams shooting at 37% and LaSalle at 33% on the evening. Fordham with 17 fouls in this second half, LaSalle with 6. So any foul from here on out will send LaSalle to the free throw line if committed by Fordham. And the Rams, searching for a third win in their last 4 games, have had to hold off this LaSalle rally, and so far so good. Now the final 3:43 to find a way to close out this one.
Nick, you pointed to that field goal percentage earlier on the game. Fordham outshooting LaSalle. This year, Fordham's 10-1 when they outshoot their opponent. It's no secret that the more shots you hit, the better chances you're going to have, especially when you play as good a defense as Fordham. And I'll add, their good shooting in that first half really helped them stave off the LaSalle rally in the second half when they got a little bit cold from behind the arc and a little bit less tough on defense.
Fordham with just 1 3-pointer in this second half, 1 of 6 from downtown. They were 4 of 13 in the opening 20 minutes. Leading by 7, 49-42, with 3:43 remaining and the basketball. Colon, Navarro, Ohams, Kelly, Rose, and Charlton, the 5 out of the huddle for Fordham. Looking to make it a third win in their last 4 games. Left arc, Charlton, bounce straight away, Colon, Navarro, defended by Clark. Screen right from Kelly, between the legs dribble, doesn't use it with 8 to shoot. Ohams, the handoff curling around Rose with 3. Charlton, right arc 3. Left rim and off. The weak side rebound batted around out through the far sideline, and Fordham will keep it with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Abdou Simbila will check in. Pat Kelly will head off to the Fordham bench. 3:21 remaining in this one. Fordham by 7, 49-42.
Love the choice to check Simbila back in. He's got 5 boards in the day. That type of physicality is what you need late in a game.
Guy who Coach Neptune says literally hurts his teammates in practice inside. Straight on 3, Ohams is good. Chuba Ohams from long range. Wide open and drills the 3. 16 points to Fordham High, and the Rams a 10-point lead. Baseline drive, right of the goal. Brickus with the off-the-glass answer. Fordham 52, LaSalle 44, 2:45 remaining second half. Charlton a foot in front of the midline. Screen right from Simbila, doesn't use it. Defended by Brickus. Ohams A-10 stamp left of the lane drive. Flips it up off glass and it falls. Chuba Ohams to 18 points tonight. Fordham in front by 10, 54-44. 2.5 minutes remaining. Straight on 3, Ray. Left rim and off. And Charlton rips away the restricted area rebound. Antrell Charlton strolling it across the midline. Fordham in front by 10 with 2 minutes to go. Straight away, Kyle Rose. Hesitation dribble. Flip for Colon Navarro. Straight on 3. Left rim and off. Battle for the right block board. Batted out through the baseline. Last touched by LaSalle. And Fordham with an extra possession. 20 on the shot clock. 2:01 remaining. Simbila battling with Ray and creating another offensive possession.
Khalil Brantley got lost in the mix there amongst the trees as well.
Float behind Ohams from Charlton. Couldn't reel it in. It's a Fordham turnover. Ray into the front court. Brickus, Ram portion of the logo. Right of the lane drive. Reverse layup. Banked in off the glass. Brickus down the stretch getting it going with the spin on the basketball to 7 points tonight. And it's an 8-point Fordham lead. Final 95 seconds of this one. Antrell Charlton between the legs dribble. Brickus the tight defense. Screen left. Simbila the roll. Center of the paint. Fordham turning it over. Simbila couldn't reel it in. Brantley pushing right to left. Stop A-10 stamp. Righty runner goes down. Khalil Brantley gets the floater to fall, and with 1:18 remaining, it's a 6-point game. Fordham 54, LaSalle 48. Final 1:18 from the Rose Hill Gym. When we come back, you're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey there, this is Tom Quigley, your Rangers beat reporter for WFUV Sports. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at tquigs04. That's TQUIGS04 for all the latest Blue Shirts news and in-game updates. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to WFUV Sports on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for my post-game recaps and for all things WFUV.
Fordham 54, LaSalle 48, 1:18 remaining second half. The Rams trying to close out a second half rally from LaSalle with possession in the backcourt. Left to the goal inbound from Antrell Charlton with Ray contesting Ohams the near side waist-high catch and a foul called, sending Chuba Ohams to the free throw line, a guy who has been up and down from the stripe on the season. Coming into this one at 58% from the line. Has made 3 of 4 attempts tonight. And with LaSalle trailing by 6, hoping to get some help from a few free throw misses. Something that Fordham was guilty of last time out against George Mason. They left the door open a crack.
Absolutely. That's something you're going to have to improve upon. Don't give other teams the opportunity to claw back into games.
Front end of the 1-and-1 for Ohams is pure. Fordham by 7, 55-48 in the final 1:17 of this one. Zach Riley will check in for Fordham with Abdou Simbila heading out to the Fordham bench. Josh Colon-Navarro, the lone Fordham player in foul trouble tonight. He's got 4. The rest of the way, it's been clear. Oham sinks the second, and it's an 8-point Fordham lead in the final 70 seconds. Brantley crisscross, left of the lane drive. The adjustment roll in with the left. Khalil Brantley aggressive to the basket, and it's a 6-point game once again. Baseline trap for Rose. The pinpoint pass, Colon-Navarro in the backcourt. His pivot foot picks up his dribble. The float for Oham's near side. Draws the right arc double team. Far corner pass Riley, left arc Colon-Navarro with 15 to shoot. Fordham escaping the trap and now running out the rest of the possession. 2 feet in front of the midline with 8 to shoot. Colon-Navarro now 6. Brantley the defense with 5. Screen right, left arc 3. Colon-Navarro misses everything out through the baseline. And LaSalle will take possession in the final 30.6 seconds of this one. Fordham in front by 6, 56-50.
Really smart by Colon-Navarro to wait after you escape the trap. Don't make a silly mistake with the basketball. Time is on your side for the Rams.
Rolling ball picked up by Brickus. Right arc feed for Clark. Brickus gets it back, center of the paint slice. Rolls it off glass with the left. It's left short. The pass floated for Colon-Navarro into the front court. Running away from the defense by Brantley. Fouled on the baseline with 15.3. Charlton the pass from left to right, and Fordham getting the stop and to the free throw line. Not exactly who they wanted shooting the free shots from the stripe. Josh Colon-Navarro over 90% on the season, and Fordham up by 6, a chance to close it out. First from Colon-Navarro, front rim, backboard, and falls. A 3-possession lead for the Rams in the final 15 seconds tonight. Second from Colon-Navarro is pure. Fordham an 8-point lead, 15.3 remaining. Brickus striding across the midline, flip for Brantley, between the legs dribble, and is tripped up at the left elbow. Zach Riley with the help defense, 10.8 remaining, and Fordham in front by 850. And that not exactly the place where Fordham wanted to foul.
Most definitely not. Those are the type of fouls that this team's going to have to work on not getting themselves into, so to speak, because late in the game, that could make or break you. You're keeping LaSalle alive.
Brantley, who had just 2 points in the first go-round with Fordham, up to 11 tonight as he sinks the first. LaSalle trailing by 7, make it 6 as Brantley hits the second. 58-52, 10.8 to go in this one. Fordham faced with the LaSalle backcourt pressure. Ray will contest the inbound. The flip for Rose near side gets fouled by Brickus. Contact to the shoulder area. A couple of feet in front of the midline, sending Kyle Rose to the stripe with 9.6 remaining, and Fordham on top by 6. It's the 19th foul for LaSalle. So Fordham and Rose to the line on the front end of a 1-and-1. Rose is first, all net. Fordham by 7, 59-52, in a place where they have struggled at times, hitting free throws, 9 of 10 in free opportunities this evening. Rose a bend to the knee, his second with the left is good. Fordham 60, LaSalle 52, 8 seconds. Brantley across the midline with 6 and with 5. Guarded by Riley, straight on Ray. The hesitation, easy to the goal with the Euro step. It rolls in, but Fordham elapsing the final 9 seconds and closing this one out. 60-54, the final, as they hold off LaSalle's second half rally to a third win in their last 4 games, 500 after February 20th for just the first time since 2016. Fordham closes it out at home. The one-on-one postgame report up next.
The one-on-one postgame report.
Back here at the Rose Hill Gym, Nick DeLuca, Colin, Loughran to open the one-on-one postgame report. Fordham victorious tonight, 60-54. Make it 6 and 8 in Atlantic 10 play. And a third win in their last 4 games for a team that is really hitting its stride on the defensive end of the floor, holding a LaSalle offense that averages 70 a game coming in to just 54 tonight. And Fordham once again bringing that effort on both ends of the floor, wondering whether some air would be let out of the balloon after such an exciting win over the weekend. That not the case. Fordham had the energy tonight.
Absolutely, and you mentioned that LaSalle offense. A big piece for Fordham was stopping them in this game. And in that second half, the Explorers got cooking a little bit, shooting over 50% from the field. Really was critical for Coach Neptune to tell his guys, listen, let's hit the reset button. Let's go back to playing defense the way we know how. We saw guys like Abdou Simbila, Chuba Ohems really come up big down the stretch in that second half, and Fordham was able to hit their free throws, something they struggled with against George Mason. Anytime you're hitting your free throws at the end of the game, I like your chances.
Fordham, a 6-point victory tonight. Our pleasure to be joined by Fordham assistant coach Trey Woodle. Coach, you guys were as good as you can get defensively against George Mason, but tonight the follow-up effort might have even been better. A team that averages 70 points a game, you hold them to 54. Yep. What can you say about the way that your team has just found its groove defensively?
Again, our guys just lock in and focus. We hang our hat on defense. We work a ton on defensive concepts and personnel. So I think our guys did a good job of sticking to the game plan. We finished possessions with 1 rebound. I'm not sure what they were from offensive rebounds, but I think our guys did a great job of keeping them off the glass.
In terms of Chuba Ohems, great game for him tonight. Yep. 20 points, 13 boards. Could you speak to how well he played this evening?
He missed some chippy baskets. He didn't let that get to him, but his defensive effort was there. So I think he focused in on defense, and the rest of the game just kind of came to him. I think Chuba does a great job of giving himself opportunities, get second chance opportunities, and we go to him. So we look for him for valuable possessions, and he comes through for us.
We know how valuable Chuba has been to the defensive side of the floor and also getting things going offensively. But tonight, when you need some semblance of secondary scoring from somewhere, yep. Kyle Rose and Josh Colon-Navarro step up. They combined for 25. What did you see from them tonight?
Well, I think it was a total team effort. I mean, we did it by committee. As you can see, Antrell Charlton had 10 assists, had a great overall game, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. but I thought it was an overall team effort. Regardless if it didn't show up in the stat sheet, I thought guys came in. They didn't focus on themselves. They moved the ball. They took what the defense gave them, and they focused on our offensive tendencies, which is, catch the shoot, and our guys were aggressive, and we got some overlooks.
Definitely saw some instances tonight where finding the open man was critical for Fordham.
Absolutely.
Is that something that they've been working on as a unit that's really helped them grow as the season's evolved?
It's a pretty connected group. I mean, these guys are pretty connected. They like each other. They really like each other off the court. So I think those guys like playing with each other. So in their mind, if they're open, they're knocking it down. And if not, they trust their teammates to be able to make an open shot. And even if guys don't hit it, you see the trust still there. Guys willing to make willing passes. And again, it started with Antrell having 10 assists, and it spread it around the team.
Coach, Fordham is over 500 or at 500 after February 20th for the first time since 2016. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, guys.
Fordham 60, LaSalle 54. And as Coach Woodle talked about, Chuba Ohams with that massive impact on both ends of the floor, make it another double-double, 20 points and 13 rebounds. And can be said for almost every Fordham win this season, but Chuba has been so crucial to what they want to accomplish, and it gets it done again tonight.
Absolutely, and you can't say enough about the job that Chuba Ohams has done, especially when the team goes cold for a couple minutes there. He's the guy they're relying to really get things going. Him and Josh Colon-Navarro, I might add. That guy is a spark plug. I love what he does for the Rams. Hitting a three in a big situation after he had a subpar shooting day up until that point, then making some good plays on offense down the stretch.
Mentioned Josh Colon-Navarro, Kyle Rose also chipping in with 10 with the quality defense as well. But the story, as it has been almost all season for Fordham, the defense. Clifton Moore, the leading scorer for LaSalle coming into this one, held to just 9 points on 4 of 7. Christian Ray able to get it going to a team-high 13, but Fordham really locking things down on the defensive end, and it leads them to another win.
Absolutely. I also like the decision later in the game to play big. Put Abdou Simbila in there. Put guys like Patrick Kelly, a little bit more size in there. Then later, Coach Neptune, when you need to hit free throws, put someone in there like Zach Riley that's maybe a little bit more efficient from the line. That shows some really good coaching on Coach Neptune's part to know the situation, something that maybe Fordham's not used to around here that I've seen this year as the season's evolved. Knowing the situation is so critical to being a winning basketball team.
Colin, I'll give you the final word. Fordham, a 60-54 win over LaSalle, a third win in their last 4 games, and to 500 on the season.
Great win for Fordham. All I have to say is continue to shoot the basketball well, continue to improve on that front. Your defense is great. You proved it again tonight with a strong first-half performance. You hit the reset button in the second half after having a little bit of difficulty to start things off. That might not have been as necessary if you're able to shoot the whole time through. That's something that could be make or break for Fordham because we know their defense is there. If they can improve shooting overall, I like their chances come A-10 tournament time.
Fordham 500 in the final week of February, a 60-54 victory at the Rose Hill Gym over LaSalle tonight. The one-on-one post-game report continues back to our Rose Hill studios.
Welcome into the one-on-one post-game report. I am your host, Danny Scott, joined by my partner, Keenan Troy. And LaSalle made the second half a lot more interesting than the first one. However, Fordham was able to walk away on top in this one, winning by a score of 60-54. The Rams were led by Chuba Ohams, 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 16th double-double of this season. LaSalle led by junior point guard Christian Ray. And Keenan, the Rams get back to 500 in this one. They're back to 500 basketball. What is your biggest takeaway from this game and being back at 500 if you're a Rams fan?
Well, in this game, Dan, we talked about it at the halftime show, is that LaSalle has the potential to run up-tempo, and, when they get going, they're hard to stop. And we saw flashes of that from LaSalle. We think about they cut it to 3 a couple times. Fordham seems to have found their bread and butter to close out a game. And, yes, it was Chuba Ohams coming up big. He hits that 3, which had you and I going crazy in the studio here. That coupled with his 20 and 13, obviously good signs. But I'm really impressed, especially in this one today, the points coming from besides anyone named Chuba Ohams. Kyle Rose with 10, Josh Colon Navarro really step into his role with an absence of Darius Quisenberry. He puts on 15. And, you called it at halftime. Antrell Charlton with the triple nickel, 6 boards, 10 assists, 6 points. He was emphatic in this game. So, really impressed with the way that Fordham closed this game because LaSalle had all the momentum when they went on that run. Fordham able to hang around, lock in on defense and then get points when they needed them the most. And then, coming back to 500, Dan, the big thing for Kyle Neptune's first year back in charge of Fordham is get this team to a mediocrity and above in the Atlantic 10. This conference is every year has a team that, could make some noise in March, and you really got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat so that come tournament time you get in favorable matchups in that A10 tourney in DC, and you can make a real run to maybe get a chance to go to March or to the NIT or somewhere along those lines.
We talk about Chuba Ohams, and he has just been a monster all season. I already mentioned it, 16th double-double, moving him clearly into 7th place in the nation in double-doubles, and is currently top 5 in rebounds per game for the entire NCAA. What about his game has just worked so well over these past few games in this season where he's able to just go on these monster performances? He already had a 20-20 game this year, snagging 20 points and 20 rebounds in a game. What is he doing that is just so much better than everyone else in college basketball this season?
Well, I think we've always known that Chuba is a presence on the boards and has the ability to go on big scoring games. But I really think this year with the introduction of Coach Kyle Neptune, Chuba's no longer alone down low. Whether it's Simbila helping him out, he had 4 tonight. He's put up 6 in that George Mason win. Nowitzki coming off the bench, providing depth in terms of their bigs. Patrick Kelly, he only had this lone 3, but he eats good minutes off the bench. Chuba, for once in his career at Fordham, is given the opportunity to not only have the offense, deferred to him, so it's not run through him, but he's kind of their reset, but also he has help down low so that, you got 4 sets of hands instead of 2 going up for every rebound. And when he just has that Rodman instinct, and you think back to the Last Dance, Danny, where Dennis is talking about it can go here, 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 wherever. Chuba's always on the end of those rebounds, and he's always going up strong to the rack.
So Fordham wins this one, gets back to 500. However, this Saturday, they have to travel to the top-ranked Davidson Wildcats. What is the key for the Rams to look to maybe get back up above 500 going against the best team in the A10? What is the key in that one?
Well, Fordham played them real tight when the Wildcats came crawling to Rose Hill. Obviously, you're without Darius Quisenberry this time. But if I'm Fordham, you build on this performance against LaSalle, and you think 2 things you need to dominate in. The first is obviously your defense. Yeah, you're going against a potent Davidson squad, but you need to control the things you can control on the defensive end, such as effort and such as hustle. And though those 2 sound synonymous, you got to make sure that Chuba's and whoever's accompanying him down low are first to almost every rebound or, getting close to every rebound. And secondly, Fordham, in order to upset a really strong Davidson side, we saw it in that first half, and we saw flashes of it in that second half against LaSalle tonight, Danny. They just got to go at their own pace. Their offense functions so much better when it's not running gun, when, you've got the down screens that Josh provides to get, Antrell to the cup or, the pick and roll with Chuba. All that stuff going at your own pace and giving maximum effort against a really solid Davidson side is going to lead to a Fordham, maybe not a win, but definitely another competitive match against these top-seeded Wildcats.
Real quickly, before we wrap it up here, any last takeaways or anything that you want to get out before we wrap it up?
Well, I think we've seen time and time again this season with this Fordham Rams team, it's coming down to the wire. Do they have the potential to close it out? And this LaSalle game, it was a real testament of their character after a very solid win against a good George Mason side, which is, you were dominating the entire game, and here comes LaSalle on the tear. Do you have it within your squad to stand tall, play the same style of basketball you've played for 38 minutes and close one out? And I always think back to, old White Sox baseball, Danny. Win or die trying, grinder ball rule 1. Tonight, Fordham won, and certainly they were not going to be happy with a loss.
Yeah, and that makes Fordham winning 3 out of their last 4, looking to make it 4 out of their last 5 this Saturday against Davidson. Once again, the final score of today's game was 60-54. Rams win it, move back to 13-13. The sports director of WFUV is Bobby Chaffardini. The producer of today's game was Kayla Wenzel. Thanks to Mike Messina, today's on-site producer, and Thomas Aiello, tonight's sideline reporter. Nick DeLuca and Colin Loughran on tonight's call. Fordham's next game is on Saturday, February 26th, when they travel to Davidson. Tip-off is set for 12:30, and we'll be here with the one-on-one pregame report starting at 2:20 on 90.7 and our WFUV Sports YouTube page. Until next time, from my partner Keenan and Troy on Updates, I am Danny Scott. Have a good one, everyone. Fordham Basketball is a production of WFUV Sports.